Welcome to the Packard Approved Podcast, the most mediocre podcast you'll ever find about fantasy football. I'm your weekly host, Packard, and alongside me is Shadow. Shadow, what's
What's
going
going
on?
what's going on, Pac-Man? How you doing?
Good, good, good. I'm excited because it is draft week, my man. Draft week. Are you excited?
I'm always excited. And as you say, mediocre podcast, probably for a mediocre fantasy football season that I will probably have.
Probably will have because you've had some ups and downs. You've been doing fantasy for what, like 3, 4 years now?
Oh man, let's see. I think I was playing with you guys since before I left Connecticut, so probably around 5.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think about 5. If not, then yeah, probably 4.
And do you know what the best you've ever done has been?
Um, let's see here. 2017 in the Palace, I finished second place overall or in the season, but because of playoffs losing to you and Ashley,
Yes.
I settled for fourth.
You lost to the power couple of fantasy football, and your entire life was ruined since then.
Ruined since then.
Ruined. Just like
Because then last year was not a step up.
you know, no. Well, you know what's interesting is your 2017 season. So like you went better. Like as the years have gone through, you've gotten better and better, which is probably something that just comes naturally in fantasy football. Like you learning ins and outs, and you're learning how things work. You've done better. Obviously, last year you did not do better at all.
No, I did not.
Your Palace
And I don't know if it was just shitty picks or just terrible like injuries or whatever may have been the cause. So
Well, I think what happened. So you mentioned the Palace League, and if people don't know, me and Chris are in 2 leagues together. I run 3 of them. There's a Palace League, which is considered the main league, and tied together that is a minor league. And then we have the War Room League. And the War Room League is a 14-person battle to the death fantasy football. Like if you lose, that's it. Just bury yourself in the ground. That's
you're done.
game over.
You're
It's
not
really
coming back.
it's not fun. But we'll go through the Palace first. So you start off with that one. And it's interesting, like I said, because did you know last year, like you said, you don't know if you had a bad year because of who you drafted or anything. Um, with everyone you started, finished the season with everyone except for 4 people. So
Wow.
out of the 16 people you drafted, right? 16? I don't know. 15? Whatever. It's
Who
15.
knows? Yeah.
I don't know. I can't do math. I could do numbers and stats, but I can't do basic math. So this is a great start for this podcast. We're fantastic.
It's all right. You're not Asian or so.
Uh, you kept everyone that you drafted except for 4 people. All right.
Okay.
You kept everyone except for Rex Burkhead, Dak Prescott, the Eagles defense, and Matt Bryant.
I don't even know who half those people are.
To be fair, I don't think you knew who half those people were when you drafted them.
Well, except for Dak Prescott and maybe the Eagles defense just because sleeping with the enemy and all that. But
That's
clearly
right.
it didn't matter if I was sleeping with the enemy because the Giants still did shit.
Well, you did take Odell Beckham first overall, first round. So
Yes, I did. I was lucky enough to get him first overall.
yeah, true. Well, no, you were first overall, first round. You were first round. You were first
Oh,
overall.
that's right. That's right.
I
Yep.
was first overall because I won David Buster's and I took Todd Gurley.
Well, excuse me for living halfway across the country. For those of you who don't know, Anthony, I live in Missouri. That's why I don't go places. Not because I don't want to. I just can't.
He decided he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go live out in the middle of fucking nowhere, so I can't go to Dave Buster's anymore.
Yeah, because that was exactly my plan to just leave all my cool friends behind.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, like you only lost 4 people. I pretty much only kept 4 people last year.
That's two completely different odds of the spectrum.
I'm gonna give you the remaining people from people that I drafted in the past league. We had Todd Gurley, Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers. Skip 4 rounds of drafting. Alshon Jeffrey, Julian Edelman. Skip 2 more rounds of drafting. David Njoku. That's it.
That's it.
That's all I had left out of my remaining drafting team. And usually I feel
Oh,
really good about my draft. I'm like, oh, this team is phenomenal. And then like week 3, I'm like, these are all terrible. Why did I even pick up store brand cereal in aisle 5? I'm never gonna eat this. Just throw it away and be done with it. Uh, and it was so bad that I'll give you some stats from last year. Right. So in the past league, you were young punks. Get off my lawn.
Yes,
Fantastic.
right.
Great. You made 0 trades, 5 acquisitions, and that's pretty much about it. Now, you never really did waiver wire. I think last year we were having a text conversation, and you're like, "What is the waiver wire?" And I was like, "What? What do you mean?"
Right. Yeah, I remember this.
I was like, "I live, eat, and breathe on the waiver wire. Like I would spend countless hours at work just scrolling through the waiver wire to see who I could get." And you're like, "I don't even know this is an extra tab on the app." And I'm pretty sure you still don't even know how that works. Do you?
I really don't. I mean, I'm kind of have a feeling for it, but yeah, I'm not really, I assume it's people who are available, and if I want said person, as long as nobody else in front of me of the waiver wire claims him, I get him basically.
Yes, kind of.
Okay.
So what happens is that goes into effect. Like so, everyone on the we play on the ESPN app. So once Monday night game is over, like usually I think everything unlocks around like 4:30 in the morning Eastern Standard Time. Uh, so from Tuesday till Wednesday night or Wednesday morning, so like a 24-hour span, you put in claims,
Right.
which is theoretically, I want to drop Lamar Miller and pick up, Kerryon Johnson. And
Right.
then whoever has a waiver priority wins that. Now, say if you're going to Thursdays and players aren't locked, um, it could happen instantly. So if you just add someone like on the fly. So if it's a Thursday night game, Colts are playing the Jaguars. You have ODB and Tyreek Hill both on a bye week, and you're scrambling to find someone. You want to pick up someone from the Thursday night game. You can pick them right then. You don't have to wait, the 24-hour period
Right.
once you're at
I
Thursdays.
think I've done that before though.
Yeah,
I
but
think that I've got the app up here on my phone, and it says on my screen for the Palace, waiver orders 3 out of 12.
yeah,
So that means I'm third person in line in that waiver wire
correct.
order.
So what would happen is say this is Tuesday night. You're 3 out of 12. You're putting in the claim for, let's just say, Derek Carr. For whatever reason you needed a quarterback for week 3. So you put in the claim. So you're third in line. So unless 1 and 2 don't put in a claim for Derek Carr, they're pretty much yours to get. And then it goes pretty much you go. So it'll be 1 through 12, and then it's almost like drafts, and then you start again. It's like if you put in several claims for several different people, you put an order of what you want most, and then each round of waivers, see who you get.
Okay, that makes sense.
But what's interesting is that you've pretty much done this past like 4 years with just drafting like your entire lineup, and then that's it. Like you don't make any adjustments. You rarely trade. I think your 2 trades have been with me in the past few years. Uh,
Yes.
and I think it's very interesting because it's almost like we're on 2 different spectrums. Like I'm constantly dropping and adding and trying to adjust my team, and you're like, I don't know. I drafted my players. I'll check Wednesday, set my lineup, and I'll see you next week. And it works. And 9 out of 10 times
It,
it's worked for you.
right, and that's typically how I used to do my drafts too before I really started to really pay attention because you used to question why I make the draft picks I make. What I used to do is I would literally just go down the bench. Okay, let's start quarterback and then just go down the line. And I realized why is nobody else doing that. So then I started to focus on more of the running backs and the wide receivers and and then focus on the QBs or the defense and stuff. But never, ever will I take a kicker in the fourth round.
No. Instead, what Chris likes to do is he likes to take. What do we have? We have. I'm gonna put you on the spot. We have Steven Hauschka. In 2016, you took him in the 7th round.
Yes.
He's a kicker.
Well, that's
So,
because
so
like I
Chris
just
does
said,
not take a kicker round 4. I will give you credit.
right.
He waits 3 rounds later.
But like I said, if you look at the lineup, it goes quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, flex, defense, kicker. And that went with my plan. I
Yes.
literally just went down the line instead of focusing on the key weapons because I didn't think, oh, hey, wait, all the key weapons are going to be gone so early.
Yes. Which
So
is
that's why I did it.
so.
Yeah.
So we're gonna 2016, right? Where you took Steven Hauschka. What did we say? 7th round. You're kind of accurate
Yeah.
what you said, right? You went 7-6. You finished 5th for the regular season. You finished 6th overall season over. like you said,
Yes.
you went Odell Beckham Jr., which you tend to draft the same people almost every year. It's almost like, oh, shout us up. Let's see. He's going to take Odell Beckham Jr. He's going to take some wide receiver, and then somewhere in the line along the goddamn line, it's going to be LaShawn McCoy. Uh,
Yeah, you leave Shady out of this.
so you did. All right. So we had Odell Beckham. You had AJ Green, McCoy. Then you took Drew Brees. And then for me, this will always confuse me. So right. So I want to get like your thought process on this. So round 4, you took Drew Brees, right? So you have your
Yep.
starting quarterback.
Yep.
All right. So we have Odell Beckham Jr., AJ Green, 2 wide receivers, LaShawn McCoy, Drew Brees. All right. Granted,
Yep.
this is still a 10-team league. You know, everything's been 10 teams for the Palace up until this upcoming year. We're going to be 12. Then you went Eric Decker, who I believe was still on the Broncos at that time, and I can't remember if that was like his last good season or his last terrible season, but I think he was a free agency, so probably a good season. But after that, so you took Drew Brees 4th round. 2 rounds later, you took Big Ben Roethlisberger. So for me, I always think it's weird if you're going to take a high draft pick to bank on a quarterback. Why would you take another quarterback so soon? So
Um,
what is your
I'm what
thought
probably what
process?
my thought process probably was I know that quarterbacks normally, yeah, they don't go so early like you said,
Hmm?
but once if you wait long enough, the good ones will be gone.
Yes.
And why I went with Drew Brees because Drew Brees is probably one of my favorite quarterbacks
Yeah.
in the entire.
And the fourth
Um,
round for at the time he was probably projected a top 3, 4 quarterback. So that's probably right around when the quarterbacks are going anyways. So Drew
so
Brees is cool, but I think my question is why Big Ben 2 rounds later?
that's the thing. I don't really know because I that's
I mean,
what
it
three
was
years
4 years ago. Yeah.
right, but so I don't know if maybe I thought Ben was going to have a season or he would be a perfect placement to fill when Breeze had a bye week because being the broski I am, I wouldn't take Aaron Rodgers from you from getting to get him. But side note, I did it last year from you, and I think I made you panic because you grabbed him way early last year in one of our leagues. So I knew I grabbed him from you, and I knew you were waiting for it. So I think in the next draft that we did for our other league, you're like, I have to get Rodgers before Shadow does because he literally just scoped him from me.
Well, here's my thing. I think it was it last year, 2 years ago? Like Aaron Rodgers was projected so low. Like he was in like the 5th round, and I'm like, you know what? For me, like I will never take a quarterback in the first 3, 4 rounds. Fifth maybe, and that's if someone like if it's Rodgers and I want to be a homer, I want to take him. And like I think that year he was projected like the 5th round. I'm like, all right. For me, that's great value. You know, I could still get my running backs, my star wide receiver, and then I could get a quarterback that I really like. And he was going like 2 rounds earlier, and I was like, why? Why can't anyone just pay $100 for the $100 ticket? Why is everyone paying $150 for a $100 ticket they could get in half an hour?
That's true, and I know that I'm not the only person who's ever scoped him from you
No, it will
either.
happen. Like I don't. I'm like, oh, I want Aaron Rodgers, and I should get Aaron Rodgers because I'm the commissioner and I'm a Packers fan. Like by all means, everyone take Aaron Rodgers. I think up until, like I got him the first year he was starting, and probably the second year when he was lower, and then after that, ever since he was projected top 3, I never got Aaron Rodgers. I would wait till 10th round. I'll get Tony Romo and I'll get Philip Rivers. Everyone's like, Tony Romo, that dude's gonna, he's not gonna win. He's gonna go 8-8. Like, all right, well, this is fan of football. I don't need you to win every game. I need the Cowboys to be down 35-3 at halftime, and then he's going to throw 400 yards in the second half. That's what I need. I need stats. I don't give a shit if the guy's going to go 3-13. Give me points. Go ahead, take Aaron Rodgers. Because what happens? They're going to be a huge lead by halftime. Then he's benched for the rest of the season.
Wow,
That's
fair enough.
but
That's
like I see that and I'm like, it happened in NXT. Someone took I think Cam Newton like the 2nd round, and then 4th round they took another quarterback. I'm like, but if you're gonna like to me like if you're gonna draft Drew Brees, like he's gonna be a starter every week except for his bye week. So
right.
like last year, like you said, like I took Aaron Rodgers, which I needed to because by time it would be my pick again, I'd have because I was the first pick. So then you're the 24th and 25th.
Right.
By time the next round would come, so that's the end of the 3rd, 4th round. He'd be gone already. So I was like, all right, screw this. Let's just grab him, call it a day. Is what it is. Uh, and I forgot where I was going with that conversation.
You're
I
asking my strategy on why I would take a.
Oh yeah, so
Uh,
they took back-to-back quarterbacks, and I'm like, that's to me that's crazy. So like I took Aaron Rodgers, right, and I didn't even draft a backup because my mentality is I drafted a quarterback in the first 3 rounds. I'm playing him every game he's alive, and
right.
I'll pick up a waiver wire, and then come week 8, whoever's on the board. I think I picked up like Joe Flacco, and he got me 20 points, which is perfect. That's all I need. I just need someone to fill in. That's it. Uh,
As good as he was, because he played for the Ravens.
hey man, he throws a deep ball. I just need him to have one good week. That was it.
Right.
That was it. But back to 2016. So you did that. Like it's like you said. You drafted your team. I mean, you drafted 2 defenses. You drafted 2 kickers.
2 kick.
Yep. Yep. You drafted 2 kickers. To be fair, like it's not unheard of because the following year you took 2 defenses and 2 kickers, and last year you took 2 defenses and 2 kickers.
See, I think the reason I do that is because again, I don't think of the waiver wire. I never used the waiver wire, so
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure I had 2 of every position instead of 4 running backs and four wide receivers. 2 in play and then like 2 or 3 on my bench or whatever at all times.
Yeah.
So it was more like, oh, okay, here's hoping that I'm going to be playing these guys every week depending on their projection scores, because that's also how I go when I set my bench up for the week is, or my team for the week is what their projected
Yeah. You
score
go
is. Sometimes,
projection, right? Yeah.
sometimes that bites you in the ass,
It
but then
does.
sometimes it doesn't. So that's how I did it. I would be like, okay, so I have my full lineup. Here's my bench. I'm going to put another quarterback. I'm going to put however many wide receivers or running backs I can, and then same with the kicker and the defense. Will I probably change that up a little bit now that I'm more knowledgeable about the waiver wire? Probably. But I have to really look at that before I make that decision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then, you with the flex base and like the tight ends, you can put a flex base and a tight end interchangeable,
I,
basically. So it kind of works out.
I don't want to say I'm the grandfather behind like this mentality, but it was probably 5, 6 years ago. It's whenever the tight end used to be added to the flex. I don't know if when you started, the flex was specifically just a wide receiver or running back, or if
No,
you
I think it was all three.
it was always all three. All right. So
Yeah,
before
I think
it was just 2 of them. So pretty much like a lot of people would go wide receiver heavy or they'd go running back heavy. Obviously, if it's a PPR league, they're gonna go more wide receiver. But before that was
right.
everything, for whatever reason, my draft strategy was always I would draft 4 running backs in a row. First 4 rounds, no matter what, always running backs. I just go running back heavy because 2 of them are gonna be terrible, and 2 of them
Yeah,
you just never know what you're gonna find near the end. And usually, like past like rounds like 8 to 13, that's where I'm trying to get at least one of these becomes a top 10, top 15 player at the end. That's why I wait till the end to get my kickers and defenses. But they added
right.
tight ends to the flex. And this is back when Jimmy Graham was nasty with the Saints. Gronkowski was killing it and everything. I was like, what if you take back-to-back tight ends and you just run them all year?
Right. Like one in the flex place, one in your tight end space.
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense.
And then if they have different bye week, like pretty much you're always constantly running that. And as you've probably learned very quickly, like there is maybe 4 to 5 good tight ends every year, and then
Hmm.
that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And last year was Travis Kelsey. Well, Travis Kelsey he's actually been
He's
really
been
good
good
the
since,
last
yeah.
few
So
years.
you have Travis Kelsey, you have Zach Ertz, and then like Gronk would always be up there, but Gronk is always questionable with injury.
Right.
And then like what's after that? Like Jimmy Graham has been kind of bad since leaving the Saints. You had Delaney
Yep.
Walker, who, if no one knows, is almost 46 years old. You had 80-year-old Antonio Gates out in San Diego. You had Eric Ebron, who was whatever the Lions. All of a sudden, he joins the Colts. He puts up 13 touchdowns, but no one's drafting Eric Ebron like he's a top 5 tight end. So
Right.
since that skill position is so limited, I was like, well, just do that. Just draft back-to-back tight ends. I almost pulled it off in the War Room League, which if people don't know, War Room League is a 14-person PPR league, which is the first PPR league that I believe you were in, and it's the first one
Yes.
that I was in and ran, and it's also a keeper league, so we keep 2 people from previous years. Uh, when we were drafting, I think I took Travis Kelsey 3rd round, I think it was second or third round, and I was maybe the 10th pick, somewhere near the end. Like I could wrap around, but it wasn't back-to-back picks. And I was like, oh man, I could take Travis Kelce, and then next pick I could take Jack Ertz, and I could just fucking fuck everyone raw in this draft right now, and just take the top two tight ends, and that's it. And I'll keep them for the next 2 years. I did not
Yep.
I did not catch that break, and then I was hoping um, Andy owns Zach Ertz, and he put Zach Ertz as a keeper. I was like, oh, you son of a bitch, because I was going to take him, and then that was my game plan. But after the top 3 or 4 tight ends, there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing out there.
Right. Because I know in one of them, I don't think it was the War Room, but I think it was the Palace that I had Travis Kelce, and in the War Room I had George Kittle.
Yeah, because we swapped.
And I
Because I had Kittle in the Palace League, you had him in the War Room League, and then I had Kelsey in the War Room League, and you had him in the Palace League.
right, and I have him as one of my keepers in the War Room. I kept George Kittle.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Why?
kept him,
Well,
and
I don't
you
know,
kept
but I think because
Saquon.
I have Saquon and I have George Kittle. I think I just kept Kittle because he near the back end, maybe even mid or back end of the season, he was
Oh, you couldn't stop that guy. That guy was nasty. Like yards after catch was insane. You couldn't take that guy down. It was insane, and even more so
yeah.
in PPR.
So I think that's what really influenced him being my second keeper because you see who was on my team, you're gonna look at Saquon and you're like, well, he's not gonna give up Saquon. So
Yeah,
who's gonna be his second keeper? For anybody to think that I wasn't gonna keep Saquon, you need
you're
to ask
crazy.
yourself, yeah, well, what are you drinking? What's in the water? You know what I mean? Because like, and not as a Giants fan, personally,
Just like just a person in general. Like that dude is a beast. He had like
he is,
2,000
and
all-purpose yards, and he catches
yeah,
everything. Everyone's like, "Oh, his O line's terrible." Like, because I had the first pick in the past league, and I don't. I honestly, to tell you the truth, I have no idea what I'm doing. No idea what I'm
right,
doing with that first pick. And like I look at Saquon, I'm like, all right, well his O line's terrible, but his O line was terrible last year. I was like, all right, well they have no Odell Beckham Jr. He missed a lot of games last year, so it's almost like the same thing. So why wouldn't he go for another 2,000 yards?
right. But again, like his character as a person on and off the field should be respected by anybody.
That
Every
dude's quads is bigger than my car.
he
He is
if
the
the
O line.
Giants
He's like, I don't need anyone to block for me. Like I'll just run everyone over.
right, and if the Giants were smart, they would focus him on being their franchise, not
Which I
not
think they're
just their
doing.
right. Because I mean, great Odell was great for the cameras, but his attitude and his tantrums hurt him. So it's like
At least in New
great,
York. When you're in New York, it's a different spotlight.
yeah, oh
Cause,
yeah,
cause he acts like him and Tom Brady. Like if you look, and I think Odell even said that he goes, me and Tom Brady are just super passionate. But how come when he's being passionate, when I'm doing, I'm being a child?
well, also there's the age difference there.
Yeah, he's younger. He's got how he carries himself and whatever.
Yeah,
But
but I think the Browns will be a good place for Odell. Sad to see him go from the Giants, but the last few years he really wasn't doing much for us because he was getting mad that he wasn't targeted as much or he wasn't playing as well as he needed. I think him and Baker Mayfield will be a
oh
great
yeah,
combination.
yeah. That's probably why like all the entire universe is big on the Browns. And did you actually know that the two favorites to go to the Super Bowl is the Cleveland Browns
Mm-hmm.
versus the piece of shit Chicago Bears?
The
All of a sudden,
Bear.
all of a sudden, the Chicago Bears get Khalil Mack, and all these people. I hear it more often because I'm a Packers fan. All of a sudden, they're Super Bowl favorites.
Right.
Listen, Khalil Mack put Aaron Rodgers on one leg, and we gave him a 20-point lead. Do you know how that turned out for them, Shadow?
Not very well.
Was it not very well? Could you say it was almost comparable to your first year of fantasy football?
Yeah.
Both pretty
Yeah.
bad, right?
Pretty bad.
Listen, the Bears did great. The Bears have a great defense, but they're like, oh, we got Khalil Mack. And you know what's worse about that? Is the Raiders traded Khalil Mack to the Bears because they thought they would get a better draft position from the Bears than if they traded to us. Joke's on you, John Gruden. We sucked last year, and you would have had a better draft pick if you gave us Khalil Mack.
That's right.
But yes, so the favorites for the Super Bowl is the Cleveland Browns and Chicago Bears, which if anyone knows, that means those fans already have tattoos on their legs, and both those teams probably won't make the playoffs now.
Probably not.
And
But
that's possible because Your top runner for MVP is Mitchell Trubisky.
Mitchell Trubisky.
Do you know who Mitchell Trubisky is?
I don't.
He is a quarterback for the Chicago Bears.
Is he? He sounds like a treat from Nabisco,
He
like a
sounds
Triscuit. Or
like quite a
something.
character
Yeah.
from University
Yeah.
of North Carolina.
Oh,
But that's that.
East.
He's by the way, he's also not even being drafted. So that's the same thing. He's like Tom Brady. You know, all right, great. The guy's gonna get me 13. He's gonna go 13-3 for the season. But fantasy wise, like bye bye. See you later. I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't
Right.
need Tyler Gabriel.
I used to do that. Like I used to, as much as I dislike, the Patriots and Tom Brady, I would always try to draft him
Oh yeah.
because you knew he was going to put up the numbers. But then it's like, where's the fun in that? Like you're going to play Tom Brady and you're guaranteed to get high points from him. That kind of,
So that's the
it's
thing.
like, oh,
Like a few years ago, I was running a YouTube channel of like fantasy football advice. It did all right. You know, I wasn't terrible. Wasn't great. Mediocre, which is probably where we get the catch line. Most mediocre podcast of fantasy football you'll ever find. Uh,
right.
and a lot of times I take Adrian Peterson first overall, first round, despite being a Packers fan, because I still want to win fantasy football, and Adrian Peterson is a goddamn beast. I'm
Yes,
not
he
gonna
is.
mess
Yes,
around.
he was.
But one of the big things that I told people for advice is almost like what you said. Like you want to draft people who you also want to root for. So like you don't want to draft for Tom Brady because then guess what's going to happen every week? You got to keep up with Tom Brady. You got to see how he's doing. You got to hope the guy throws touchdowns. You know, when he's playing the Giants, you're like, all right, I want you to throw 3 touchdowns, but I also want the Giants to win 28-21.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't want to draft all these people. You know, like Gerard's a huge Broncos fan. He's not going to want to draft all Raiders people. It's you gotta
Right.
you still have to have at the end of the day, no matter what, you have to have fun. So
Right. I mean,
that's that.
and I think that's what I really like the most about the whole fantasy football thing is over the last few years doing this, I've been paying attention to football more
Yeah.
than I do. But I'm not just paying attention to the Giants. Like I'm paying attention to the other teams that I have players in fantasy for. Whether I personally like the teams or not, it's gotten me to the point of, oh hey, okay, so I have this guy playing for the San Francisco 49ers. Let me see how they're doing in their matchup today, just so I can see how George Kittle's putting up points,
Yeah, exactly.
or things like that. And being where I am now, it's Chiefs Kingdom, baby. Like
Yeah, you're out. You're right there. You're right next to Arrowhead.
we are in Chiefs Kingdom. And Patrick Mahomes, man, he has an infectious personality. He is going to take this team in this city far.
He is. He
He's
just sounds like Kermit the Frog. That's his only problem.
yeah, yeah. But so like I'll pay attention to the Chiefs more, whether I have a Chiefs player on my team or
But
not,
that's based off your
because
location.
it's where I'm at. And granted, I'm not going to see a lot of Giants
No.
games on Sunday unless it's the Sunday night or Monday night football game, or but I
Yeah.
won't randomly see like an afternoon Giants game. Like it just won't happen.
Mm-mm.
But I say that about baseball, and I see the Yankees on TV here a lot, and I'm like, that makes no sense. But
That's because
so,
the Yankees are winners and the Giants.
or not.
It's been rough.
Yeah, because
It's
instead of sitting Eli, we're gonna draft Eli Jr. and we're still not gonna play
identical.
him.
Identical. I thought they just drafted Eli Jr. or like his kid.
Yeah, but yet they're still not gonna play Daniel Jones. They're still gonna play Eli.
Well, here's the problem. Like you have to start Eli Manning. Because once they bench Eli Manning for Daniel Jones, there's no going back.
Oh, right.
And I mean, not for nothing. Like Eli, like last year was terrible and everything. The dude's was on record to beat Brett Favre's streak for most consecutive game starts without a miss and everything like that. And he got benched because Ben McAdoo's like, oh, I don't know, man. I bet him a bagel that I'd bench him, so I really wanted that food. So fucking, you're benched. Like he was benched for Geno Smith for what reason? Who knows? Because Geno Smith is not the franchise for anyone. Why
Mm-mm.
Rex Ryan ever drafted up to get Geno Smith at the 7th overall pick from Western Virginia Who
Right.
knows? Who knows what anything happens? But it's also like who is around Eli Manning. So like if you're gonna bench, like granted Daniel Jones looks great in preseason,
Yes.
but even if you put Daniel Jones or Eli Manning out there week 1, who is your supporting cast? Who are you throwing to? Because Sterling Shepard may or may not be playing. Uh,
Right.
Tate is suspended for 4 games. Odell
Yep.
Beckham's gone. Uh, Cody Latimer, I think, was he out for the year? No, he caught a touchdown this past year. There was someone who I think you lost.
For the year.
You
Right.
lost someone with an ACL tear or something. So like your top 2 choices right now is Evan Ingram and Saquon Barkley. Like I don't even know. Like it's Cody Latimer is your number 1 wide receiver. So if you put Daniel Jones out there, how much better is he going to do with that cast versus Eli Manning?
Right. I mean, but even
It's a matter of
again, like,
time, but
right. But you also shouldn't really be throwing to Saquon. Like, I
yes.
mean, you can, but
I
that's
mean,
not
if
his
I draft him
primary
first
job.
overall, by all means, you could throw it to him 100 times a game. That's fine with me.
Right.
Give me those points in PPR.
Right. But then, Evan Ingram, he's definitely come a long way. He's definitely
Oh yeah, I drafted him. I drafted him the other year, and when Odell Beckham's out, like he does, all right.
right.
I think he's
So
from Mississippi State. Ole
I
Miss,
believe
one of
so.
those. I don't
But
fucking
like
know.
when like you just said, the Giants have no weapons.
No,
So
but
it's
I'm still gonna
like,
take Berkeley first overall
yeah, but you're
because I
not
thought
gonna.
like David
You can't
Johnson.
keep relying on him. You keep
No.
relying on him, he's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, that's what
Like,
happened to David Johnson. I mean, they were fluke, broken wrist, but that's whatever. We got a
right.
little off topic, but
Yeah, we have.
that's why we're mediocre. I don't know what to tell you. Like we do our own thing. Who knows? Also, this is why Chris is only a part-time co-host. Spoiler
I
alert.
have ADD.
It's
I
one and
get
done.
distracted.
We'll see you later. Thanks for playing.
We could have been talking about comics or other stuff, and then you would have totally.
Hey, don't stop. All right, so you drafted the main league. Also, in that 2016 season that we were talking about 3 hours ago, before we talked about how terrible the Giants were. Fun fact: Chris here with his team that he never touched. You beat me in week 3, 92-83. Oh, you're laughing.
I
I'm glad you're
I
laughing.
remember that.
I'm glad you're laughing because in week 13 I beat you 154-105.
I know.
Because you take people like Julius, whatever stupid tight end, Julius. We're getting caught off the air now. Julius Thomas, who was a tight end for the Jaguars at the time, after his good years with the Broncos, after you already taken a kicker, 2 quarterbacks, and Bengals defense. So let's say that's 10th round, 8th round. Who knows? It's too goddamn early. Where are we? I had taken Tony Romo as my first starting quarterback on that team. So joke's on you.
Joke's on me.
I had DeMarco Murray in the 6th round. Whoever, if no one knows, that's when DeMarco Murray ran 3 billion yards for the Titans.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you beat me, but then as usual, I got the final last laugh.
Yeah, but again, that was when I totally ignored the waiver wire and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Which
Like,
brings me to my next point. All right, we're gonna keep this going because who knows how long this is going. I don't think anyone's even paying attention at this point anymore. They've already closed down YouTube app and they've already unsubscribed and put in a petition to get us removed from the internet.
well, here's what. All right, maybe they should have strapped in for the entertainment win. Oh, can't use that.
You can't use that. That's trademarked material.
Trademark material.
So
Anyway,
we have the main
go
league,
on.
and it's your typical, 10-person league. Everyone that plays fantasy football is almost in a 10-person league with all the close friends, everything like that. And as I mentioned, we have a minor league, which is pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It's a league for development and rookies, and it's tied to the main league. So if you get kicked out of the main league, sent to the minor league, you do really well. If I need to replace someone, boom. That's what it is. Talk too fast. No one's going to understand a goddamn word I just said anyways.
Basically, WWE NXT.
Yes, thank you. Or Major League Baseball and we'll say AAA, maybe single A based off how this past week's draft went. Because,
Right.
my lord, the NXT is full of some laughs, but it is painful to get through that draft. That being said, I started up a new league, which, as we mentioned earlier in this podcast, was the Worm League. Which the mindset of this was I wanted to put together an all-star cast. So everyone that is the best of the best in their fantasy leagues, I want to put them under one big roof. 14 people, PPR league. you keep 2 people from the previous years. You keep someone up for 2 years. So I invited all the people that have won, and then you, you got in there
And
somehow.
wow, wow. So friendship means nothing. It's just
No,
no.
listen.
People have won, not not the fact that I actually had one really good year.
When it comes to
But
fantasy football, there is no hold bars. All right, it is
that's
game on. Like actually, is my fiance who took Aaron Rodgers ahead of me. I could assure you, it was a long 2 weeks of quiet at the household.
that was the 2016 draft, wasn't it? Because I think that was the one that Emma and I were there.
Probably, yep, yep. Because
That she did
she thought it was quote unquote was going to be funny.
it. And it was a great way to introduce Emma to the group.
Yeah, and you know how I got her to pay me back? Because now she's gonna take my last name.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Haha. Someone in the
yeah.
background, no one can see right now, is dying laughing at this. Because guess who played the long con? Oh, you got Aaron Rodgers in the third round 2016? Guess who you got married to? Uh,
Ba-da-ba.
Ba-dum-bum. Spoiler alert. Yeah, so we put together a war room league of all the greatest fantasy football owners there was to find, and then we need a
And
14
Shadow.
person, and here you are.
And here I am.
Well, it's tough because I try to come up with like what people your accolades are in their fantasy like highlights, and I was like he finished third in a 10-person league. It's tough.
That means there were 7 losers behind me.
Yeah, I mean you're in the top percentage. But I was like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
cool, because like you said, like there's no waiver wire. I was like, all right, well there's 14 people, which I'm not sure like how hard it is for you once you get to the 10th round, like drafting people you actually know. But when you're drafting a 14-person league, like you're drafting deep into like who knows, like you're drafting Jalen Richards, who I'm sure you don't even know what position he plays for or what team he plays for, but he's the third string running back for the Oakland Raiders, and they're being drafted.
Yeah,
So I was a little concerned, but I was like, oh, if you want to go in there, by all means, jump on in. And you did pretty well, all right?
I did. I think I was the top two between me and I think it was Andrew, right? Andrew and I kept switching out the top two positions for the first half of the season for the most part, if I remember correctly.
Which can I say was bullshit because both of you did not use a waiver wire at all. And I can like my brain physically could not handle how you guys made that far in a 14-person league, graded as PPR, so you have a little more flexibility with no transactions at all.
Right, and I kind of wish the app would let me go back and look at past teams,
Mm-hmm.
like in past weeks, because I would totally look that up
Well,
and see
it's
that.
funny you say that because as you can hear my mouse clicking around, I have last year's stuff pulled up because you can't see it on the app, but you can see it on the computer version.
Right.
So, what would you like to know from your War Room League?
So,
Similar
like how, like
case.
the amount of points that my team put up, like you said, just drafting 14 team league with no waiver wires, and how many weeks did I stick near the top?
Oh,
Like,
that I don't. I couldn't tell you. I have to go through our Facebook group and see
oh, okay, that's what I was just about to do too.
all
So,
that. But let's see what we can find here. Play the elevator music that we don't have the license for.
you
Let's
can't do
see.
it.
Symbol of peace. So I mean, to be fair, you start off the season, you, up through week 9, you were 7-1.
Yes.
You were 7-1, didn't touch the waiver wire, and to prove to you that you didn't touch the waiver wire, your stats from that year makes me want to throw up.
Why?
You had 1 trade,
Yeah.
and you had 5 acquisitions.
Okay.
One of those went to IR.
Right.
I, who was like in 8th place, that probably makes a lot of sense. I've realized, going through all the stats, I am terrible at drafting. Like, it's like I went to the grocery store, I bought all these groceries, I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. Then I go home, like, these are all trash. Let me just throw it away and just order a pizza. for the next 13 weeks. Is pretty much how I can describe this. Because I had 5 trades, and this is mind blowing. This is insane. I had 72 waiver wire pickups.
72.
72.
Holy crap!
72. Second place
Damn.
was 39.
God,
Sorry,
that's crazy.
but yeah, so regardless of how I drafted, so you start off the season going 7-1, and then
Right.
you won nothing. You you
Yeah.
lost the rest of the season, and that was that.
I went 7-6. Yeah.
Yeah, it was rough. Whereas like
It
I
was.
started off bad. I was 1-2. I was like, this is bullshit. It's my league. I should be doing pretty well, and I made it all the way to the finals.
You did. You see, and that's where it's like poetic justice.
Well, I
Because-
think that's why I'm so pro waiver wire, because anything could happen. All of a sudden, like Philip Lindsay was not drafted at all, and you're gonna have people like Philip Lindsay. All of a sudden, week 4, they just go off, and then they're just gold for the rest of the year.
Right. But like we touched on earlier, you focus on all that stuff, and I don't. And for me to have a better first half, to know that somewhere in the back of my mind, like he's gonna catch up, he's gonna footing.
I need
And
to get
that's
as
what
many
happened.
wins as I can now, because I know that goddamn piece of shit Commissioner Packer's gonna come out of nowhere like he's Shia LaBeouf and just ruin my day. And that's what I do.
Right.
And then I
So-
invite you to my podcast, so then I could
That's right.
do it for everyone to hear about.
But I'm gonna tell you what. I think one of the greatest things that I've really enjoyed over the last, I think maybe last season and the season before, which really started, was mine and Anthony's rivalry.
Listen,
Which-
I've loved the rivalry, and when I make the Monday Night Football matchups, I specifically make sure that every year I give you guys a matchup, like whatever. I go through the schedule. I'm like, all right, where are they playing? Boom, week 7, cool. Like I make that the first point, and I'm even more excited because Anthony would be the main host when all 3 of us are in that podcast.
Right, and it's not like, and I don't know where it came from. Like it just came out of nowhere, and I was like, what caused like me and Anthony to really just start
I don't know. But-
this friendly shit talk rivalry? Because
It
I
is-
think what it is, I think he and I just enjoy the shit talk to each
You
other.
do. He enjoys the shit talk.
It's-
I remember the Mario Kart tournament. Not to take it away from you, but the Mario Kart tournament. Like he goes to Ashley's like, I hope you wear something beautiful so I can bury you in it.
Like-
It's good, and it's just the way everything works. And I feel like it's gonna be, was it Stone Cold Steve Austin versus HBK, and then was that where Mike Tyson was involved? Is that the one I'm thinking about, or who did he fight? You remember that?
I think so.
Yeah, because it was DX. Like I feel like I'm gonna be Mike Tyson, and one of you's gonna be Stone Cold, and one of you's gonna be Triple A or HBK. And I'm like, well, thanks for coming in.
Well, it's like that meme with like you see Stone Cold's back and he's giving Shawn Michaels the finger, and Shawn Michaels is like,
Yeah.
"What the hell did I do to deserve that?" Like, and
That's what our
It-
podcast is gonna be like. It's gonna be.
and I think it must have started with the whole Anthony calling himself the Prince of Saiyans thing.
Yes. Yes.
I think that's
I
what
think
it
that's
might
where it all
started it,
started.
because I was like, "Who the fuck is this weeb?"
Oh,
Look, he literally just watches Dragon Ball Z, so he thinks he can be the. No, man, I've been watching this since before he was even in high school. I was like, this kid needs to get out of my face. I think that's what started it.
He
That's
did.
what really.
However, if you haven't keeping up tabs, Anthony straight up looks like Vegeta from going to
Yo, I
Jiu-Jitsu.
saw.
So
I saw-
you might beat him in face of football, but he might literally just kill you at the wedding.
Aw,
It's gonna be a 2-for-1. It's gonna be a wedding and a funeral. So just make sure to give Emma your ESPN login so she can keep running your fantasy football.
Right.
That's
But
my
I think
only wish.
that's really what started it was just being like, no, man, like I've created my own like Dragon Ball Z stories, and like Vegeta's like my character's grandfather, and I was like, oh no, now we're gonna fight. And then
Now it's personal.
It's not even personal, it's just so much fun because I love the dude. Like,
Yeah.
like there's nothing I wouldn't do for that kid. Like if he asked, and I'm like, when it comes to fantasy football, no, fuck that guy.
All right. So
Like
speaking of-
straight faced.
You're done.
fuck that
You're
guy.
dead to me. So let's wrap it up with one final segment because who knows how long this is going. I don't fucking.
You
It is
don't
what
have a
it is.
ticker?
I don't know, man. I press record and it records and saves somewhere. I don't know. That's a future Packer problem. Who knows what's going on with that?
All right,
We'll circle
fair
back
enough.
on that. So we have two drafts. Well, you have two drafts this week. I had one yesterday, and then I have two more. And who knows? Who fucking knows anymore?
Good lord.
But we have the Palace tomorrow, and
Yep.
then we have the Worm League. So with the
Yep.
Palace, it's tough because I'm gonna ask this question, but we also can't give away because it could affect us. But what is your draft strategy in the new Packard Palace, which used to be 10-person standard, is now 12-person, and it's
No,
PPR?
to PPR.
Yes, I forget what you're
Uh,
drafting. Is it somewhere in the middle?
um.
I didn't
So
write this
yeah,
down.
I'm definitely gonna have to pick up my change my drafting strategy. A little bit like we touched on earlier. Again, I say that, but then I know it's me, and I'm literally probably just gonna be playing it by ear. Like
You have
like
the 10th pick.
I do have the 10th pick,
Yes.
so that's where it's like I'm kind of surprised on it, but then again, I'm not because since I couldn't go David Busters, I guaranteed I would have had a better pick if
Yeah,
because
I gotta
well, one
figure.
my season was shit last year.
I gotta figure out how to come up with a new idea for us to get a draft party going with
But
people that are out of state.
yeah, I'm sure we can figure that all out. But no, I definitely think that I'm gonna be changing things up a little bit. I'm probably gonna be slightly distracted tomorrow night, but I should be able to have enough willpower to focus on that and my Dungeons and Dragons game tomorrow
All right, so you
to
got the ninth
hopefully draft
overall
a decent
pick.
team.
So let's try to foresee the future. All right, so I got the number one pick. I'll probably take maybe Christian McCaffrey. I'm not sure where I want to go. Ninth
Right.
pick. Let's see. So ninth pick projected would be Devonte Adams. Let's say you got Devonte Adams on the board. Let's say someone skips over Le'Veon Bell. Maybe you got Zeke. So we'll say Zeke, Bell, Adams, and then the next three people is Jones, Beckham, Hill. So you got five people. You need me to run that down again?
No.
Okay. Which one you taking, and why?
Man, that's tough.
You got 90
Le'Veon
seconds. You got 90 seconds,
Le'Veon
man.
Bell, he's a running back, right?
Le'Veon Bell is a running back, yes, for the New York Jets.
For the Jets. Okay, and then Ezekiel's running back for the Cowboys.
Yes, and if you're unaware, he's currently sitting out until he gets paid money,
Yeah, I saw that.
which is why
We
he's
were
dropping. He's predicted fourth, but like the draft last night, It's interesting because I was ninth last night in Anthony's league, and I picked up Ezekiel Elliott.
you're right. And then you're like, wait a minute.
No, I knew exactly what was going on. I don't care. I'll pick up that Ewok.
No, I would probably pick up Bell.
That's solid. And if I was to guess, I'd say that's because that's the best running back available that you know is going to play week one.
Yeah, yeah, because obviously Barkley's going to be off the board long
Oh yeah,
before.
he's first overall. So even if I don't take him, Ashley will probably pick him up, and then uh, actually, yeah, because the other Chris is third. Yeah, he'll be gone.
Yeah, so solid would probably
So we'll
definitely be
take
Le'Veon Bell.
Bell. Then let's see. So then 10, 11, 12, 12, 10. So I'm gonna assume Todd Gurley's gonna be off the board. We'll
Yeah,
assume Todd Gurley's off the board, even though he's predicted 14th. Someone will probably reach, which means you might have. We got Odell Beckham Jr. Then we got Kelsey, Antonio Brown. If you even know who Joe Mixon is, and then maybe like a James Conner. So you got a little bit of everything. You got a wide receiver, tight end, and a few running backs. Who you taking with second
Oh,
round?
yeah, if that those would be the five I would pick, I'd definitely take Travis Kelsey.
I figured.
That's yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Plus he's got
he
all the
would
cool
definitely.
dance moves. That dude's a G.
Yeah, he is.
That dude.
We were actually at a pizza place last night for dinner, and if you rounded your tab up $1, you got entered into like win a VIP experience to go hang out with
Yeah.
him
Listen,
at Arrowhead and stuff.
I would do it, and I have no investment in that. That dude's just
Right.
a man. That's odd. So then you have a top tier running back, and you have a top tier tight end. And then you can fill in the rest with everything like that. I like that. I have the first overall pick. And like I said, I'm not sure what I want to do. Like I wanted to go Elliott, and then he's up with his contract. Now I think he'll be playing week 1. I think that won't be a problem. Uh,
Right.
but I have a bad habit of screwing up my first round picks. Last year was great with Todd Gurley. Year before
Yep.
that was David Johnson. Which you don't know, he broke his wrist like the first quarter after giving me 6 points, and then was out for the
I
year.
remember that.
That was cool. And then I had Adrian Peterson, who played 2.5 games, and then I believe broke his ankle on Sunday Night Football, and then he was out. So we all joked that Debs has the curse of the Debs, but I do not have very good luck with the first overall pick.
You have not had
No.
good luck first overall
So
pick.
it's gonna be it's gonna be a running back. I want Kamara, but I have him in the War Room League, so I kind of want to not double down.
Right.
So I'd say right now it's between Berkeley and McCaffrey.
McCaffrey.
And then, so let's see, so that puts us. Oh God, why did I pick the first overall pick? I should have took 12th. This is rough. So we got Leonard Fournette, Devontae Freeman, Melvin Gordon, Cooper, Hilton, Kittle, Ertz. Because I get back-to-back picks. So maybe like if Antonio Brown drops, I'll scoop up to Antonio Brown to give me a wide receiver, running back,
Right.
and then I don't know. Like Leonard Fournette, everyone's like, well, like if he's healthy, he should be good. Devontae Adams should be all right. Melvin Gordon, he dropped. He'll be sitting out. So I don't want to waste a 3rd round pick on him. So I'm gonna say it's PPR league. I'm gonna go Antonio Brown. Shit. And maybe just jump the gun and go George Kittle, Zach Ertz. I'll have one of each position. I'll have a running back, wide receiver, and tight end. Call it a day.
Right. Yeah,
How it
that's
goes.
pretty solid. But again, like you're the guru when it comes to all
Yeah, kind
this,
of.
and
I'm just the quickest on the waiver wires, honestly. Well, it's been apparently.
and
My drafts are worse than goddamn Raiders. So that's that. Now here's I don't know if you've looked into the War Room League at all, but the way we did keepers is everyone keeps. The way I want to do it and the way we're doing it is 2 different ways because we're at the mercy of what we could do on ESPN because it's not a live draft. So pretty
right,
much the thought process was you get 2 keepers, and say if you draft someone in the 6th round, what you do is you lose your 5th round pick, so it moves up a round from the previously drafted. So if you got Patrick Mahomes 10th round, guess what? You lose your 9th round pick. You keep Patrick Mahomes. This is not the case, at least not the case that I've found. So pretty much it's very cut and dry. You keep 2 people, and then we just start drafting round 1. Just all the keepers
right.
are removed from the board.
So that shifts everybody though so far. Like that really that like because if Barkley's overall number one,
Yes. So
guaranteed.
thankfully, since I'm the over-the-top commissioner who does way too much work, but it's a lot of fun, I'm really all excited about it. Our first round, once you remove all the keepers and everything,
Right,
it goes Ezekiel Elliott, Antonio Brown, Joe Mixon. Not too bad. Then we get into Dalvin Cook, Mike Evans, Kerryon Johnson. So I'm not gonna read the whole goddamn list, but uh,
right,
it is very different than what you're used to. Like round 2, you're looking at names like Tyler Boyd and Sammy Watkins.
right,
So granted, everyone gets to keep 2 people, and usually everyone I think keeps people that are projected in the first 2 rounds anyways. So it's not like a big difference. But it gets hairy, and it gets hairy quick. Like
oh yeah,
round
definitely.
4, like we said, 14-person league, and that's why I was like, oh, you're gonna be in it, cool. Like round 4 has names like, first of all, we're gonna play this game. I'm gonna give you two names, and you're gonna tell me what position they played for, and what team they played for.
Wow, that's terrible. I barely know who people play for now and what position
All
they
right,
play.
I'll give you 2 hard ones and an easy one.
Okay.
Jarvis Landry.
Oh, he's a running back. I don't know who he plays for. Doesn't he play for the Saints?
This this was the easy one.
Oh,
You got both the answers wrong.
fair enough.
Jarvis Landry. This is where it's going to sound like I'm kind of full of myself, and I take 100% of the credit for that. That's fine. I know who I am. Jarvis Landry originally played for LSU alongside with Odell Beckham Jr. He then played for the Miami Dolphins as a wide receiver. He currently plays for the Miami Browns, the Cleveland Browns, as the wide receiver, alongside his college roommate, now ODB. So Jarvis
Okay.
Landry is a wide receiver for the Cleveland
For
Browns.
the Browns.
Yes.
Okay.
He's going fourth round in the War Room League.
Okay.
D.D. Westbrook.
D. Westbrook.
Now you could just straight up tell me you have no idea and tell me to fuck off.
Well, I'm not gonna tell you to fuck off. That's rude.
You can.
But I've heard the name. I just don't know what. I mean, I got it wrong before, so I don't want to say he's a wide receiver.
No, you can say it.
But I have no idea. I want to say he's a wide receiver for like the Raiders. I don't know.
Well, you're close. He's a wide receiver.
Okay, good.
He plays for the AFC South.
For who?
The AFC South division, and his quarterback is Nick Foles. Do you know what team Nick Foles plays for now?
Well, no, because he used to play for the Eagles, so I don't know who
And
he's
now
playing for
you
now.
see, everyone, why I was concerned about Chris getting into this War Room League.
Hey, shut up!
D.D. Westbrook plays wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh man, but they had Blake Bortles.
Do you know where Blake Bortles is right now?
No,
He is the backup quarterback to Jared Goff in the LA.
in
Rams.
LA?
Yeah.
Really?
So it's like, hey, you're not good enough for this, but we're gonna send you to a team that just made the Super Bowl and should be in the
That
Super Bowl
really
like every
doesn't
year.
need you.
Just, as long as Jared Goff doesn't go down, that team's fine.
Right.
Blake Bortles.
Hey, at least I know who Jared Goff plays for.
Thank God you know that one.
Shut up. Seeing as I drafted him last year.
No, you didn't draft him. You picked him up.
Oh, I picked him up in waiver wires.
All
Yeah.
right, all right. Let's see. I want to ask you Christian Kirk, but I already know you don't know the answer to that one.
Nope.
What do we got? That's a rookie. He just got traded. That's not even fair. All right, maybe not fourth round. Do you know who Aaron Rodgers is?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Oh, thank God. All right, at least we got that far. At least you can make it through the third round. All right, fourth round is going to be a little tough. Who knows what the 10th round is going to be? This is going to be like when Yamcha tries to do anything.
To do anything.
He's like, oh, that's going to be a great day to live, and all of a sudden he forgets to breathe. That's going to.
Well, now are we talking like actual Yamcha or the kid who got reincarnated as Yamcha who knows Yamcha's past?
Which one is worse?
Well, the kid who
that's
gets
you.
reincarnated. Well, no, okay, yeah, but the kid, well, whoever's me, yeah, it's me.
Whichever
It would
one
be-
you assume is the worst scenario to live, that's going to
would
be
be-
you on Monday night.
It would be regular Yamcha because this kid gets reincarnated as him, so he knows Yamcha's past, so he pretty much trains himself to prevent getting killed by everything. So he's like stronger than Goku.
All right. Well, to prevent
It's-
that, and
Okay,
now that we've dubbed you the Yamcha of fantasy football,
well, that's fucked up.
you are the once again somehow you're the 9th pick in the War Room League.
Huh.
Like I
Alright.
said, so your keepers are Berkeley and Kittle. So 9th round, let's say everyone is off the board, 1 through 8. You have a choice of probably 4 running backs, and you might know one of them. We have Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Chris Carson, and Aaron Jones. Or if you want a wide receiver, you have Julian Edelman or Brandon Cooks. Who you taking?
God, wait. Edelman, does he still play for the Patriots, right?
He still plays for the Patriots. Yep.
Oh, that's
You're
right.
thinking
He's
you're
got
thinking
a beard
Danny
now.
Amendola, who now plays for the Lions.
That's right. He's got a really sick beard now.
Yeah, he shaved off and sold it to kids with cars or some shit like that.
Oh, so he doesn't have the cool beard?
No, they
That's
shaved after the Super Bowl.
Oh, he loses points for
Like,
that.
oh, Julian Edelman to the Hall of Fame. I'm like, listen, like he's still like ranked like 108 in top wide receivers. Just calm down because he had a good playoff Super Bowl game. It's not a Hall
Right.
of Fame wide receiver. Also, he was suspended 4 games for PED. Can't go to the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
I would probably go with a running back.
And would you say the only one's name that you sound familiar with is Derrick Henry?
Sure.
This is why I'm excellent at playing poker. I could have just took all your money and didn't even know what your poker face looked like.
Good.
Do you know what any of those people on that list I gave you? Any of their teams that they play for?
Nope.
Excellent, cool. This should be fun for this next part then. So second round, let's say you have a lot of choices at wide receivers. You have two choices for a running back, so you'd have two running backs and a tight end. So you probably want to go wide receiver.
Probably, yeah.
All right. So we have your choice with what we got. Let's say we got Kenny Galladay, we have Cooper Kupp, Alshon Jeffrey, Chris Godwin, or you could reach further down. But
Well, I know Jeffrey's name and Cup's name sound familiar.
yes,
I know both. I know both of them.
mm-hmm,
I
good.
don't know who they play for.
That's fine as long as you know the name. We're getting somewhere.
I would probably go with Jeffrey.
Why?
I don't know. I'm confident in it.
Fair.
Feel
Look, I'm
confident.
confident. I know who he is. He's alive. He's not classical burst. He won't shoot himself in the leg. We're in a great spot.
He knows how to catch a football. That's all.
He does. He plays for the Philadelphia Eagles.
God damn it!
Ah, you just drafted an Eagles person. You have to root, fly, Eagles fly, or whatever catchphrases. Who knows? I don't know, man. I'm gonna get lynched. Eagles fans threw batteries at Santa Claus, so if I butcher their logo, I'm sure I'm dead. That's great. Sorry, Chantel.
God.
So I have the first overall pick. I'm keeping Alvin Kamara, and when I can no longer keep him, I'm going to commit suicide because he is the greatest gift to PPR that there ever was. And I'm keeping Travis Kelce. I was
Of course.
really hoping that, like I said earlier, probably 4 hours ago when this podcast started, that I want to keep and pick up Jack Ertz because I have the second overall pick. Because the way that this War Room League works is we reward winners and losers kick rocks. So if you win, guess what happens? You keep two people and you get the first overall pick. So technically, you get to keep three people, in retrospect.
Right.
And if you get last place, you get the 14th pick because I do not condone sandbagging.
True.
So, sucks to suck. I finished second, so I get the second overall pick. Uh, and pretty much it's going to dictate what Andy takes. So if Andy keeps Elliott, I will take Antonio Brown. And if he takes Antonio Brown, which he probably won't, he'll probably take Joe Mixon, I will probably still take Elliott because I am pretty comfortable. Like, even if Elliott misses 2 weeks, like, I just need a flyer running back that I'm sure I could get later just to survive for 2 weeks. And
Hey,
then for the rest of the season,
spoiler warning.
Hmm?
Spoiler warning.
What?
Though I saw in the news that I think they came to an agreement yesterday.
Well, they offered him to be the second highest running back, which would be behind Todd Gurley. And then the last I heard was that he was on a plane back from Cabo where he's training with some Hall of Fame running back to meet up with Jerry Jones. So,
Great.
in worst case
Well,
scenario,
yeah.
I have contingency plans to draft people for weeks 2 and 3. But then going
Right.
forward, I'm going to have Elliott and Kamara as my running backs. So, like, bearing any injuries, I will never have to touch my running backs at all. In a 14-person league, like, if you get two top 10 running backs, that's pretty tough to beat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
So I think that's where my mindset is for that. I had Joe Mixon last year, who was great. Uh, he was alright. Like, he was actually pretty good. Like, you probably don't even know Joe Mixon plays for Bengals, but he was averaging probably like 18 to 22 points uh, per week. So he was really solid. He was my running back number 2. Uh, but I don't like anyone else after that. Round 2, uh, it's wide receiver heavy, so it depends on who's left. And also, I wouldn't have a wide receiver, so if I take Elliott, I have 2 running backs, tight end, so I'm going to need a wide receiver. Maybe Calvin Ridley from the Falcons. I'm not taking
Mm-hmm.
Sammy Watkins. I'm not taking Allen Robinson. Not touching Tyler Boyd.
Wait, did you say you're not touching Sammy Watkins?
No, I'm not taking Sammy Watkins in the second round.
Oh, second round. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, technically for us, it's the second round. Obviously, this would be like the 4th or 5th round, but still, there's
Right.
other wide receiver 1s and 2s that are on the board that I would prefer over Sammy Watkins, just because the Chiefs' depth chart is so crazy that anyone could do. Like, outside of Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, like, they could, I don't even know who they have anymore. It's all rookies. So
Right. Fair enough.
Watkins will have a good week here and there, but not comfortable to be my wide receiver number 1.
Right.
So I'm probably taking. There's DJ Moore who's available. As long as Cam Newton's healthy, I'll pick him up. I'm not trusting Tyler Lockett to be the number 1. I don't know why the Seahawks are trusting him to be the number 1. I'll take Ridley if he's there. Otherwise, I might have to go. It's a whole lot of wide receiver or running backs, so maybe I'll just go 3 running backs, which isn't the worst. Because if you try to find a running back on the waiver wire week 10 in this league,
Oh yeah.
rough. It's like if you ever watch Jersey Shore, which I'll mention because actually I myself have been watching it lately. It's like if you're leaving Karma at 5 o'clock in the morning and your options are Shamu and a trash can. You're like, I gotta bring one of these home. So come on, trash can. Let's go. Let's give me some points.
God.
So it's so as much as it sucks to not have a wide receiver, it's not the end of the world to stock up on running backs, and then I'll just find some wide receivers later. Maybe I could trade a running back after bye weeks. Who knows? But that's my big strategy.
I'm gonna tell you what. I used to bring Shamu home, so I would take a trash can
Ayo!
over that too. So
And with that, if we haven't got kicked off the air by now, that's probably gonna be about it. Who knows how long this podcast has been going on? We definitely got off tangent. It wasn't all about fantasy football. We spent like half hour about the Giants' trials and tribulations.
No, we were talking about football.
Football, yeah, which is is a general consensus of this podcast. Who knows? We have no structure. Pretty much, it's just whatever pops in my head. I'm like, hey, let's talk about this, and we'll go from there.
Yes.
But I think that's about it. It's probably close to like an hour. Maybe a little
Probably, maybe
Actually,
a little.
yeah. Oh, it says right there, recorded 1 hour, 6 minutes, and 4 seconds.
Look at
The
that.
whole time, it's right in front of me.
That's about how long podcasts go, anyway.
All right, well, excellent. Do you have anything else you'd like to cover or talk about, or?
No, man, this was fun. You should have me do it
It was a
again.
lot of fun, and we did this with no script. I was like, hey, how's it going? Cool, haven't seen you in 4 years. We're ready to talk about fantasy football? All right, let's.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. Let's do it.
Fucking wing it.
That's what we're good at, though.
Can't wait to refresh YouTube for the next 4 weeks just to see I got 7 views, but
Hey,
way, this was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun.
So I thank you for coming on. I wish you good luck in the wars to come, should some famous people say.
Yeah, you too. May luck forever be in your favor.
That means
Or whatever it is.
Ned Stark did not die for you to butcher the words that were spoken to him before he killed the greatest swordsman that ever lived.
I was talking more from the Hunger Games, but whatever.
Well, I didn't watch the third one, so don't ruin it because I'm never going to watch it.
I'm not going to watch it either. But
Good.
the thing was, may the odds forever be in your favor.
All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to maybe consider that. It was very nice of you to say that. Such nice words.
That's right.
All right. Well, this is fun.
All right.
And
I'll see you tomorrow. We'll get to it.
Yeah. And thank you for being a part of this. And, your typical rate, comment, and subscribe, whatever the YouTube kids say. I don't fucking know.
I don't know anymore.
If you stood along this long, thank you.
Yes. Thank you. We try to bring quality entertainment.
If nothing else, you at least laughed at how terrible we are.
Yeah.
So that's worth the price of the free admission to get on YouTube. There it is. That's the end. All right. I don't know how to end these things. I'm just going to press stop record. Stop.